It has not been my day, friends. I was invited to so many Halloween parties this year by all of my friends, and as you probably already know, if you've watched me for longer than 2 seconds, October has not been my month. And so I decided last minute, screw it. I'm gonna go to this one Halloween party. I'm gonna have fun. It was supposed to be today that I'm filming it, which is Sunday, and then we were all going to like hang out until it was officially Halloween, so like after midnight. And the party, the only party I was gonna go to, was canceled. So I am dressed up as Harley Quinn. I know, Loey, your costume is so original and not basic or overdone AF at all. I don't even care. Like, I think it's the cutest costume ever, and I was gonna do a whole Harley Quinn lookbook. Halloween came so fast, and then I thought, you know what, screw it. We are gonna sit down, I'm gonna refilm my Halloween video for you guys, and we are gonna just like have a Halloween party, you and I today. So this video is probably gonna be a little bit long, but that's because I'm going to put so much stuff in here. I'm going to tell you guys some of my Halloween like paranormal stories, which was the original video that I already had filmed, and then I was like, screw it, I'll be festive, I'll do more stuff with it. So I'm gonna tell you guys some of my paranormal Halloween story times, and then I'm also gonna show you guys like a little bit of a Harley Quinn lookbook between, I had like literally, I bought 3 options for my costumes. So I'm gonna show you all 3, just to, like toss it in here so they're going somewhere. Okay, I just repositioned a bit because my camera has been having like mad autofocus issues here recently. I really don't understand why, and it's been trying to go from like focusing on me to focusing on the lights behind me, so I'm just gonna try to be as close to the wall as I can so it doesn't do that. So anyways, yeah, I'm gonna be telling you guys some stories. I'm gonna show you my costumes as Harley this year, just as like a little lookbook toss in here. And we're just gonna hang out. We're gonna have like a spooky Halloween party. And if I were you, get a snack, get a drink. It's gonna be a long one, and I'm just going to have a Halloween party with you guys. Maybe we can make this like an annual thing, like Loey's Halloween party. I just think this is gonna be really fun, and I'm really excited. So first off, obviously, is going to be the story times, what I know you all are here for. So I'm gonna tell you guys my favorite story first, even though it's not the like first paranormal story I ever had on a Halloween. This is my favorite paranormal Halloween story. So I was with a friend, and we're gonna name this friend, for the sake of this story, Kate. And Kate, I believe I've mentioned in a different video, Kate could like see spirits. And I know some of you are like, whoa, like what? But I really believe she could. For a long time, I was really skeptical, even though paranormal stuff would happen to me all the time. I was just like, you are crazy, girl. But like, things would happen right after she would say, you know, like there's something in this room, or like you know, I don't know. One time it was something like, she told me we were on a walk really late at night because we grew up in like rural Georgia and there was nothing to do but like hang out and walk and stuff. And we were like out walking, and she told me there's a ghost next to that street light. And we had like gone a considerable ways away from our house. And I was like, bull, like whatever, there's not a ghost next to that street light. And she said, okay, well, they're about to turn off the light. And as she said it, the light went out. You guys, it was so scary. And ever since then I was like, yeah, like you very obviously have a gift. And she just could always sense when things were there. And as a result of this, I believe her home was pretty haunted. And the thing about it was, I never felt like, when I was in my own home, I felt the same spirit every single time. In her home, I didn't really feel anything similar. Some days I would be there and nothing would happen. Some days I would be there and it would be the scariest time of my entire life. I told you guys my scariest paranormal experience, I'll link that down below. My friend got possessed. It happened in that house. So I don't know if it's because she had such a strong connection to like spirits and like the paranormal, but like I would always feel something different, like something strange at her house, but something different every time. And one Halloween, she had like a blowout Halloween party. Like we invited all of our friends. I stayed the night to help her out and help her clean and stuff like that, and help her set up. Like it was her Halloween party, but I was really excited because I was planning it with her, and we were like doing everything together. It was really, really, really one of the most fun Halloween parties ever, despite, you know, what's gonna happen. Also, every time I wear red lipstick, I'm like terrified. I have it on my teeth. But anyways, it was like a ton of our friends, and we were all band geeks. So this was not like a high school party. Like we were literally hanging out and eating cupcakes. Like we did not drink alcohol. We were not cool like that. So we're all just kind of like hanging out, and we're having our own kind of fun, obviously. And at this time, I remember Paranormal Activity was all the rage, you guys. It was when it first came out and it was like everyone loved it. Some people literally thought it was real. Do you guys remember that when Paranormal Activity first came out and everyone like thought it was real? Like I feel like people were like that with the Blair Witch Project too, but everyone just thought this movie was so scary, so spooky. It was like revolutionary, you know, like no one had ever done a movie like that except like Blair Witch. So at the time it was out in theaters, but we had obtained a copy of it. Don't do what I do, children. I definitely don't do stuff like that anymore. I pay for everything, but I will just say at that point in time we had obtained a copy. And so we're like all crowding around in the living room to watch this movie. And up until this point, nothing paranormal had happened until we started watching Paranormal Activity. And as we're watching it, I can hear things like moving around in Kate's little brother's room. And at the time, I was dating this guy who we'll call Jim. And Jim and I are like cuddled up on one couch and we're kind of like facing Kate's little brother's room. And we can hear things moving around in there and we realize like her little brother is not in his room. He's like in his parents' room. And no one was in that room. And I look at Kate and I'm like, is this a joke? Like the noises were getting louder and louder as we went through the movie, just like rustling and like footsteps. It kind of sounded like someone was like running around and like playing in his room and not like stomping or anything like that, but like trying to be quiet almost. And so I ask her like, is this supposed to be like part of the experience? Like what's up? And she just looked at me and she shook her head. She wouldn't even say anything. And I was like, that's kind of weird, because normally, you know, like I would assume she would at least tell me, like I was her best friend. We told each other everything. And if it was going to be a prank, she would have told me to begin with, you know? So we're hearing things move around and other people at the party are starting to notice as we get through the movie. Everyone thinks it's like this huge joke and I kind of joined in on the fun. Like everyone was teasing it, like, oh, we have our own Paranormal Activity up in here, like joking around, like teasing the ghosts, like oh my god, when I was like originally filming this video, you guys, I was terrified to like, my door right here was open and I was so scared that every time I looked out I was going to see the woman from Paranormal Activity. Do you remember that scene when it's fast forwarded? She's standing in the same spot for hours, but because it's like fast forwarded, she's like shaking back and forth. Every time when I was telling this part of the story, I was so scared I was gonna look out and see that. I don't know why. That part of the movie like screwed me up, man. So yeah, we're basically saying like, oh, you know, if you're here, like show us a sign or we'll make a movie about you. I don't know, just saying stupid stuff to this ghost while we're watching the movie. And that's when the energy kind of shifted and it went from like, I really couldn't even sense anything. Like I feel like I'd had enough paranormal experiences at this point that like I could tell, sorry, I like feel like I need to fan out these curls. Oh, I really did this to my hair, by the way. I'll explain that towards the end. Like this is dye. I'm really excited about it. But so the noises kind of went from like light footsteps to like something was different. It was getting louder and louder and louder from that room. And we would just hear noises all through the night and everyone was so scared. It got so bad we asked Kate's dad to go in there and check on it for us because we literally thought like someone maybe had like broken into the house, you know? So we're like scared out of our minds at this point. And the noises just keep getting worse and worse. Like it goes from like light footsteps to someone is stomping on the wood, like in the room. And that was when we had asked Kate's dad to go look. And I remember the scariest thing that happened, like the lights were being shut on, the lights were being shut off. I could hear someone giggling. Like it was like someone was running back and forth the entire time. And I should also mention, like, yeah, it could have been someone doing it, but everyone was like accounted for. Kate's parents were in the room with us. Her brother was in the room with us. All of the partygoers were in the room with us. Like this wasn't someone doing this. And so the scariest thing that happened, I mean, just hearing those noises from time to time, we would all just kind of look at each other and it wasn't funny anymore. And we almost like, we kept watching the movie because I think none of us wanted to admit how scared we were. But like I said, the scariest thing was that at one point, there was one of his toys that started going off. One of Kate's brother's toys. Like it was like a toy train or something like that. It was something with wheels, so we'll just call it a train. A train started going off in his room And it wasn't just like someone had pushed the button. You could hear the wheels of the train moving across the floor. Someone was pushing. Oh, I get chills every time I think about that. That is one of the scariest things in the entire world, was just listening to it move across the floor. And that was when we were all like, okay, who wants to like go outside and hang out? So we all kind of like abandoned the movie, went outside, and I kind of like asked Kate, like, is everything okay? And she was really honest with me. Normally she would like kind of like try to chill me out. She would say, don't worry about it, like spirits can't hurt you, you're fine. But this time she was like, I don't know. I don't know what that was. And she was really, really, really weirded out, like to the point where she couldn't even enjoy her own party. So we're all outside just trying to forget it, like eating candy, hanging out, drinking Kool-Aid, I don't know, like something that was non-alcoholic, because once again, we were band nerds. We did not like, we were very good kids. Like our parents never needed to worry about us. So we're all just kind of hanging out and just chilling. And I'm hanging out with my boyfriend, Jim, and he was my boyfriend at the time. Spoiler alert, he wound up like being one of my best friends for life. We'd always been best friends. We only dated this one time, and now he is like happily engaged to the man of his dreams, and I'm so excited for him. But anyways, so Jim and I are just like chilling out, like hanging, and there's like this porch swing outside of Kate's house. So we're just sitting there doing whatever, and out of the corner of my eye, I see what looks like a short person walking around the house. And I catch a glimpse, like I look right as it's like going out of view. So like basically we're on the front porch and somebody's like going around to the back of the house. And in the back of the house, there's like a swing set. There's like, Kate's parents had transformed this shed into like a play area. And so there's all that stuff back there. And as I look, I just see like a blonde head. And that's all I saw. I couldn't tell if it was a boy, if it was a girl. I just knew it was a shorter person and they were blonde. And I look at Jim to see if he's seen it, and he is like white. Like he is so scared. And he was very, very, very religious. So I know this kind of stuff scared the crap out of him. Like he hated even watching like Paranormal Activity. So he sees that, and his face is just white, and he's the one who like immediately tells Kate, like, there's someone there, there's someone there. I don't know who that is, but someone just walked around to the back of your house. And we're both really, I'm more like curious than anything, because like I have experienced weird stuff at Kate's house before. And so Kate says, I'll go check it out. And I was like, I'll come with you, because like that's my best friend, that's my girl, I'm not gonna let her die, you know? So we go around to the back of the house. And that's when I saw, oh my gosh, the swing on the swing set was swinging back and forth, and no one was in it. And like Kate had decorated the entire backyard with like really creepy stuff, like doll heads, you know, like just like scary stuff, cobwebs all over the back of the house. And I had remembered how it was positioned, and no one had gone out there the entire party. And like dolls had been moved, like things had been rearranged, and the swing was just moving back and forth, like someone was swinging on it. And that was when I looked at her, and I swear to God, well, okay, so I looked at her and I was like, okay, like something's very wrong here. Let's just like go back to the front of the house. And she was like, yeah, let's just go. And she told me, just tell them it was nothing. We didn't say anything. I was like, okay. Because we didn't want to scare anybody. I mean, it's all fun and games until like you can't explain the spook, you know what I mean? So we go around to the front of the house. I tell Jim it's nothing. He's still freaked out because he knows what he saw. I know what I saw, but I'm trying to convince him it's all good, we're fine. And so as we're walking, but what I was gonna mention is that as we were walking, Kate and I, towards the front of the house again, like around the corner, I swear to God, I heard the same giggling, and it was so, so faint. So what I think was, it was like a young, like a child, like it felt like a girl almost, now that I look back on it. But it was weird because sometimes I wouldn't feel any kind of presence at all, and then sometimes it would be like overbearing, like I couldn't even think about anything else. I was like, there's like a little girl, like she's playing with toys, she's swinging on the swing set, like whatever. And probably pissed because we were all like making fun of her. So what I think was, basically this play area was out back, and then Kate's brother's room was like directly in front of the swing set. So I almost feel like this little girl was just like hanging out, like playing that night, you know what I mean? And it was really strange because I never had any future experiences with her. Kate never like felt her there again. It was almost like she was like just hanging out for the night or like traveling through. I don't even know if that makes any sense. And I don't know how, like, obviously the spirit world works. I don't know how any of that works, but it was really, really, really strange because I only felt her there that one time, and there were those really distinct like things that happened. And I wound up somehow sleeping in the house that night totally fine. And that was the only thing that happened that night. But going back, I think maybe 1 or 2 years prior, that was not my only Halloween with Kate. Like I said, we were best friends for a really long time, and we're still friends now. But she and I like spent all of the time that we could together. We were basically like sisters. I called her mom and dad. Like she called my parents mom and dad. Like we were tight, you know what I mean? So anytime, like, you would always just see us together. So Kate and I were spending another Halloween, and I can't remember if this was like 14 or 15. I feel like the one that I just told you guys, that last Halloween party, that was 16. But I know that I was either 14 or 15 because, okay, so I'm gonna leave that in, hoping you guys could hear it. I don't even remember where I was. I just had a mild like panic attack. When I was filming, heard something like crack over here. I don't know if you were able to hear it on camera, but I heard something like crack. And then after I turned off the camera, I heard like footsteps coming from the attic, and I'm just like losing my mind, you guys. If I die tonight, great. I went out with a bang, like God bless. So anyways, that wasn't the first Halloween. I'm just gonna try to move past it because I'm not home alone right now. If I die, at least someone else is here. So, where was I? Anyways, this wasn't my first Halloween with Kate. I was either 14 or 15, and I say that because it was because of who I was dating at the time, and I know I was dating them because they were there. So, I know like it was one of those years, and there's another Halloween party not quite as lit at Kate's house again, and it was much smaller this round. Like, I'm so paranoid. I need to stop being so paranoid because it makes it so much worse. Okay, I'm fine. Anyways, so we are all hanging out, and I think just like in her living room again. And this time, nothing really like happened. I don't know why I gave that detail, because nothing really happened during the party portion of it. Like I had felt kind of off the whole night in her house. Like I would be alone and I would just be like, I wouldn't feel alone. Like I would go to the bathroom and I would feel like someone was like watching me, you know what I mean? And it was really like bizarre, but I just didn't feel alone. So I'd had kind of like that offish feeling all night. Like I wound up getting into a fight with my boyfriend at the time because of it. Like I just felt weird. And anytime that I spent the night with Kate, I just slept in her bed because once again, we were tight. I'm so creeped out. Okay, I'm fine. I need to like get a dog. Hang on, I'm gonna just go get a dog for moral support. Update. Mock, hey. I have Maka here. So I feel slightly more safe. I don't know, even just like having another creature here makes me feel better. So do you think you could come all the way up and be quiet? I don't think you could. I'll just put you down here. So I just felt off all night. And that night, when I was sleeping in her bed, I wound up having a nightmare, and I don't fully remember what the nightmare was about, but all I remember was there was something dark chasing me, and I felt like I couldn't breathe in the dream. And now granted, this would have been probably right before my like unexplained paranormal experience video, where I talked about the dreams that I had with that woman, where I woke up and, well, I thought I woke up and I was out of my own body. I'll link that down below as well if you guys want to watch that. But I was having this dream that I was being chased, and when I woke up, I experienced sleep paralysis. Like I couldn't move, except that I could move my head. I couldn't speak, I couldn't move any other part of my body, but I could move my head around. And I had never really experienced sleep paralysis up until this point. I will say it's not a thing I've experienced very much, and so it still really creeps me out anytime that it happens. And if you do not already know, sleep paralysis is when you're awake, but you're kind of still in a dreamlike state, and that's why this is so weird, because I had that dream that something dark and tall and like menacing, like something was like not happy with me. It was chasing me. And I woke up, and I turned my head because it was the only thing that I could move. So I'm laying on this side of the bed, she's laying in front of me, and then the door is like over here. So I look over at the door, and there's like that tall figure just standing in the doorway staring at me. And the weird thing is, Kate had to be in total darkness to sleep. And I knew this about her. It's like the complete opposite of how I am. I have to like I really like night lights. I really like being in the light. I don't know, I could probably sleep in broad daylight with the sun in my face and be totally fine. I don't know why, it's just how I am. So, oh God, this story makes me feel out of breath. Like, it really scares me to remember this. It's one that I kind of like blocked out for a long time, and I really only remembered it when I told the other paranormal story. So, okay. I looked over, there was this figure in the doorway, and that's what I was gonna say, is that the door being open was strange. It was not like Kate to leave open a door like that. And I was kind of like, that's really weird. And there was that dark figure just staring at me. Even though I couldn't see any facial features, I could like feel it staring at me. And I could move my head. So I moved my head from like looking at it, because it was scaring the crap out of me. I couldn't scream, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't wake up Kate. So I just like turned my head to look at the ceiling so that I could like look at something else. And directly in front of me, you guys, was a solid black mass. And I know I wasn't like looking at the ceiling. This was like solid darkness in front of me. And I could feel like something told me it was it was something just staring at me. But it wasn't the same thing that was in the doorway. And I don't know why I feel like that, but I just do. And I'm staring at this black thing, and I'm trying so hard to like scream or move or do something, and panicking, my heart is racing, I can't breathe, and I can't breathe now even thinking about it. That's why I'm so scared. Like, this was one of my scariest experiences, because I don't think this was like a spirit. I get the feeling this was something else. So yeah. And as I'm telling this story, I'm scared out of my mind. Like, I don't know what this thing was, but I know that it wasn't friendly, and I do feel like it meant me harm. So I'm trying to scream, I'm trying to do something, and suddenly I snap out of it. Can't stop with this hand, we've talked about this. I snap out of it, and I can move, and when it's like I can move, I like blink, and the thing is gone. It's not there anymore. And so I'm just like, what the hell was that? And so I wake up Kate. She thinks I'm like going crazy. She asks me why I left the door open. Like, she doesn't really think anything of it, because she's never really had an experience with something like that. Any spirit that she's ever seen has been like humanoid at this point anyways. And so I'm telling her about it, and she thinks it's just a nightmare. She's like, you're fine, go back to sleep. You're scaring the crap out of me. Like, you're good, you're fine, go home. And I'm so scared, because I feel like something meant me harm in that moment. And it was really weird. And like I said, I never really experienced like sleep paralysis before this. And it was just really, 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 really strange. Well, God bless you. Your sneeze scared the crap out of me. God bless. You're a cute dog. The last paranormal Halloween story that I have to tell you guys before we get into some other Halloween fun is probably the first one I ever experienced. I'm sorry, I get like really tongue-tied when I get excited or like anxious or anything. So that last story, just like, I need something to come off of that isn't quite as terrifying. This story was when I was 8 years old. And this was when my family and I had moved to a new neighborhood and a new place. My mom and dad had taken a new job at a new school. Like, it was lit, fam. We were living in the nicest house in the nicest neighborhood. My parents at this time had been saving up so much money to like get our dream house. And sadly, like, we didn't live there for as long as we should have, but it was really an awesome time. I just remember like everyone being really happy, and I don't know, it was just a really good time in my life. So we go trick-or-treating, and my parents were very, I mean, I would probably be like this, and I probably will wind up being like this with my kids too. Honestly, they let us trick-or-treat, but they were very, we had to go to like different neighborhoods to do it, and it was just because like my parents were scared. My mom grew up really close to Detroit, and so like she'd always just been kind of like scared of trick-or-treating, you know what I mean? Like, when you live in a like bad area, it can just be really scary. And my dad was just, you know, like, they were our parents. They were really overprotective of my brother and I. But this year in particular, our neighborhood had organized a hayride, and it was a really nice area, and like kids from all over our county would come to participate in this hayride. And so we were, you know, my parents were like, this is safe, you guys are good. My mom did go with us during it just because, you know, like, safety. but we were basically on like the back of this trailer, and there were all these hay barrel things all over it, and we were riding from street to street and then going from house to house, and it was really, really like so fun. So we're doing this and we're just, you know, having like the time of our lives, my brother and I. And this was just a strange night in general. But the thing that wound up happening that was really, really, really weird, there was this hay thing, like a hay or a scarecrow, Why? I'm leaving that in. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever done. There was a scarecrow in front of someone's house. I remember like we were going from house to house, and I remember this yard really distinctly because the scarecrow was the only like decoration that was in this yard. And I still don't know what this was. So we're like going to go and trick or treat, and the scarecrow had just been sitting there, obviously like doing its thing, scaring off crows. There were no crows, good job. I remember as I was walking past, and I was one of the last kids to get to this house, for some reason there was no one around with me at this point. The scarecrow like was on a stick. It wasn't a person in a scarecrow costume. And as I was going past it, the head of the scarecrow turned and like followed me, and I remember like the crunching sound of like the straw as it was like turning, and I just like froze and I looked at it, and I remember thinking like, that is like, I was 8, so I was like, that is the scariest like lawn ornament ever. Like that is so freaky. And I looked all around it, and it may have been like a battery operated thing, but it hadn't moved. Like we'd all been like sitting in front of this house for like a considerable amount of time, and the scarecrow hadn't moved. And it was really strange for it to like have turned its head or like whatever. So we go up to the house, I'm like the last one to get my candy, and when I come back, the scarecrow is gone. The scarecrow is gone. And the owners of the house were like there to like give us candy. And I asked my mom when I got back, because she had stayed in the hay like with my little brother. He was only 4 at the time, he was really young. And she had been like watching the house to like make sure I was safe. And I asked her who moved that scarecrow. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about, because she hadn't like taken the scarecrow into account. You know what I mean? Like it hadn't seemed like a big deal to her. And I just remember that so vividly. And I look back at that and I'm like, did I make that up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is that a memory I'm like remembering incorrectly? But I just remember it so vividly because it scared the crap out of me, and I've never been able to handle scarecrows since then. Because still to this day, okay, if it was battery operated, which it may have been very well, because it doesn't explain like why the head turned, you know what I mean? Well, it does explain why the head turned. But like, where the hell did it go? You know what I mean? Like, it was so weird to me. And then when I asked my mom, I just feel like she would have noticed it. I don't know. It was really, really, really strange. And still not one that I'm not certain. Hey, what are you doing? Are you digging in my carpet? You can't go to China from here. So that was one of the weirdest things that ever happened to me in my childhood. And those were kind of like my Halloween paranormal story times. I'm sure I have another couple, but maybe I'll save those for next year. So those are my stories, and I really hope you guys liked them. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and show you guys, my freaking ponytail. I want to show you guys my Harley Quinn costumes, just because, like I said, I want to do something with them. They were really, really, really fun. I wound up getting all of them from Torrid, just because they had a Suicide Squad collection out, and I really want to show them to you guys because I was between these 3 costumes tonight. Because like I said, I was originally going to do a video on them. And then after that, we are going to take a fun Halloween quiz, because even though I decided to be Harley this year, I thought it might be kind of fun. I've never really done like a quiz on camera before, but I always see people doing them, just to see what I should be for Halloween this year, according to this online quiz. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my Harley looks, and then we will come back and I will show you my quiz thing. Okay, here you go.
They say you're only young once, but we live for, we die for, we live for forever.
So this first Harley look might be my favorite. It was the one I thought I was going to wear to the party tonight most, until it was freaking canceled on me. So as you can see here, I am wearing a black choker because I feel like Harley is always wearing a choker in the Suicide Squad movies. And I'm wearing a Daddy's Little Monster sweater tucked into a black skirt. Now both of those are from Torrid, and then I just wore a pair of really high black heels. My next look I feel is pretty punk, I don't know, maybe. I really wanted to wear this bomber for one of my Harley looks, but it is such the star of the show that I just felt like it needed to be based around a pretty otherwise simple outfit. So I'm wearing the Harley bomber, I'm wearing a burn after use sweater underneath, both of those again are from Torrid. My ripped up jeans are from Fashion to Figure, and then my little booties are from Torrid as well.
We take what is needed. They say you're only young once.
And this last one, again, is such a beautiful party outfit. I loved this sequin dress from the Suicide Squad collection, again from Torrid. They had a great lineup. If you are straight size, they also have this collection at Hot Topic. It's the exact same manufacturer. I loved how the straps crisscrossed in back. I just wore a plain black choker with a little diamond and studded black and gold flats.
There you go, and I feel better about my life because my Harley costumes were put to use this year. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this quiz. It's from 17.com, and the quiz is what you should or what should you be for Halloween. And I just thought it would be interesting to see if, according to this, what I should have been is different from like what I was, which was Harley on me. The first question is, your costumes are usually flirty, you want to look hot, a group effort between you and your friends, tried and true, you love classic costumes, or creative, no one else ever has your costume. Clearly not that last one. I would say usually like tried and true. I mean, I really enjoy the basics or the group effort, so we're just gonna go with the classic costumes this time. Your go-to source for costume inspo is a fashion icon known for her signature style, the Halloween canon of classics, cat, ghost, pumpkin, or social media obs. I would say social media for sure. I watched a lot of videos this year, you know, a lot of obviously like tutorials and, you know, last minute DIY costumes and stuff like that. Your friends would describe your style as girly, bold, classic, or sporty. Definitely girly, holy crap. Your ideal Halloween involves a girls' night in watching scary movies and baking Halloween treats, hitting up a haunted house with your BFFs, trick-or-treating, duh, or checking out everyone's costumes at a party. Ooh, I'm gonna go with the girls' night in because even though I do love Halloween parties and stuff, like having a night in on Halloween is the best because sometimes I can get really anxious and nervous on Halloween. I don't know why, but I can. So I feel like the girls' night in is my ideal. You usually get your Halloween costume from the attic. Where are those retro dresses your mom used to wear? Your own closet or the mall. You still want to look cute and trendy on Halloween. A costume store or the craft store. You love to DIY your own costumes. Definitely your own closet or the mall. Like I usually go for like trendier costumes every year. Number 6 is how do you feel about group costumes? You'll definitely hang out with your friends on Halloween, but you already have your costume plan. Love them. You and your friends always have a blast dressing up together. You wouldn't rule out matching with your bestie, or definitely not, you want to be the only one in the room with your killer getup. I would say I wouldn't rule out matching with my bestie. I think that like matching Halloween costumes can be really fun, but like it's not like I won't go if I don't have like a theme. Number 7, your favorite social media platform is Tumblr. It's the easiest way to keep up with your favorite fandoms. I laugh because I never use Tumblr. Instagram, post a Halloween costume shot and watch the likes roll in. What's not to love? Twitter, you tend to stay loyal to your faves and you're usually the last of your friends to join a new platform. Or Snapchat, you're always LOLing at your friends' hilarious faces. I would say my favorite social media platform is Twitter. I mean, probably either Twitter or Instagram, but we'll just go with Twitter because I love Twitter. Your favorite part about Halloween is dressing up, having a blast with your besties, all the decorations and yummy candy, or the priceless photo ops. Oh my gosh, probably dressing up. I love the opportunity to like play dress up. I don't know, I just think it's like amazing. Number 9, when you were a kid, you dressed up as, oh, can we also take a moment for the fact that I shattered the crap out of my phone the other day? Can you guys see that? Great, right? I dressed up as Hannah Montana, a Disney princess, you were Cinderella and your sister was Snow White, a zombie, or something new every year, a genie, a devil, an M&M. Probably something new every year. I don't think I ever repeated a costume growing up. My parents were always like really big on like kind of just doing the Halloween things. Like I said, they were really kind of protective of us in terms of going out on our own or trick-or-treating or anything, but they really loved Halloween. And the last question is the costume you'd never be caught dead in is a scary costume. Fake blood and fangs? No thank you. A solo costume. You live for dressing up with your squad. That year's trendy pop culture costume, or the same costume that everyone else is wearing. So which one would I not want to wear? Probably the same costume that everyone else is wearing, even though like I am very obviously the same costume everyone else is wearing. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and press see results. I got Kylie Jenner. What the heck? Play up your glamorous side by copying Kylie's look this Halloween. Rock a Balmain. Is that how you pronounce that? Balmain? Balmain? I don't know. Rock that dress. Lol JK, wear a bodycon dress with over-the-knee boots and swipe on one of your favorite Kylie lip kits. I know you have a drawer full. This quiz actually does know me really well. Top off the look with a rainbow wig, and don't forget to bring along your dog because Kylie loves her pooches. That is so strange that I got that because speaking of Kylie lip kits, yesterday's video was actually all about the Halloween October Kylie lip kits. And I wound up doing a review and swatching all of them, and I'm doing a giveaway on all 4 of them plus the burgundy palette. So if you guys want to go and watch that video, I will link it right now as well as down below. So go and watch it, participate in the giveaway. It's gonna be dope. I hope you guys have a really safe and happy Halloween. I love you guys so ridiculously much. I hope you picked out a costume that makes you feel fun and that is something you want to dress up in. I wanted to do like a whole video on like body confidence during Halloween, like how to, you know, rock the hell out of your costume and all of that good stuff. But honestly, I hope you guys have picked out something that just makes you feel as beautiful as you are. I hope you have found a costume that makes you happy, that you want to like wear, and that makes you feel really good about yourself. And if you haven't done that, then girl, do your makeup like bomb AF, or don't do your makeup, whatever you want to do. Wear a killer outfit and just feel fierce today, because I think like it's just a really fun day to play dress up and wear what you want and do what you want. Like there are no rules on Halloween. That's why it's like so dope, because you can literally do anything you want this day. You can be anyone you want to be, and I think that's so cool. So I just hope you guys have a really happy and safe Halloween. I love you all so much. I'm so sad that this month is over, but I'm really excited to be moving into November because it has not been a great month for me. But I'm really happy to end it off on such a great note. I love Halloween. I will be keeping up with you guys on social media. Tweet me, Instagram me, snap me your Halloween costumes, post it on my Facebook wall, whatever you want to do. I would love to see you guys and what you're up to today. I love you all so much. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you in my next video if I don't die from whatever the heck is in my house. And I just keep hearing weird noises and I feel like I'm just doomed. Regardless though, I love you guys. It was worth it. It was worth the spooks and whatever, and hopefully I will see you very soon in my next video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around for all of Vlogoween. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight, or this morning, or this afternoon, whatever it is for you. It was really fun. But I love you guys so much, and I'll see you soon.